close to you then?
Yeah, he comes to the house actually.
Oh my God, that's what I want to do. I don't want to go to any dojo. I want them to come to my place.
Yep.
Oh, that's a really good move. Oh, we are live all over the platform. So this is
Awesome.
live.
Awesome.
All right. So we got that going. And let's make sure we have being live streamed. Okay, everybody on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I think YouTube, all of them. And we're going to get right into it. So let's have some fun. Natural conversation, 45 minutes in and out. Let's just make this one to remember. Okay.
You bet.
All
Always,
right.
Mike.
You got all right. Now, I've been looking forward to this. How many times did we reschedule? Was it 3 times?
No, this is no. I was out of town. Then you were out of town. So the third time's a charm, right?
This has got to be it. Okay. All right. You ready to rock?
I am ready to roll.
All right. Let's go. 3, 2. Welcome to another episode of $1 Million Stories. This one is exciting because I'm telling you, I've been working with this woman for a couple years now. We are part of many masterminds together. We're in self-storage together, and we have a damn good time. Total patriot, total freedom fighter. We have TONI VANSCHOYCK, one of the original people who are part of this company you know of, I guarantee it, called Monet. Now, there's people out there that say it a different way, but I love the way I say it, Monet. That sounds to me the right way. Is that right, TONI?
You know what, Mike? Whatever's good for you is good for me.
Finally, somebody gets me. Just let them roll if that's it. Anyways, this is TONI, and she's got a lot of cool stuff to share with you because she's done a lot. She's helping women start businesses at a higher level than I've ever seen anybody else do it. And you're a part of many other ventures. So thanks for being here.
I am so excited, Mike, to be here today with you. We tried to connect and do this, and I'm like, man, I just feel the energy when you're doing these. And of course, I love talking to you. And you know what? We've known each other for 5 years now.
Crazy.
I know.
It is crazy. But I got a call. I think it was it Michelle that connected us? A couple other people. Yeah, we had a connection. And I'm like, all right, who is this person? Right. We did a book, Effing Simple. And then that turned into Effing Simple Leadership, Effing Simple CRM, Effing Simple You. You just have a lot of stuff going on, multiple books. But let's just go back to the beginning. How did you get to where you're at now? In a quick little summary, you're a serial entrepreneur. You're a part of many different ventures, but were you always this person? Were you always this entrepreneur underneath everything?
You know what? No, I think that was a process. My mom actually owned a gym for a long time. So she started my entrepreneurial journey actually. And I worked in restaurants for a very long time, great money when you're going to school. I was putting myself through college at the time. I was a single mom, which led me to running a very busy restaurant chain. And then I started having more children, got remarried again. And I couldn't work 70 hours outside of the home because when you're in the restaurant industry, it's crazy, right? Crazy hours, it's high paced, and you're always on the go. And I was also traveling, and I just knew that I wanted to be home while I raised my babies. And so I started my own brick and mortars, actually. I had 2 of them. So we had a very successful, busy lawn service, and I also had a daycare. And
Wow.
So that
out of necessity then, right? To be with your family. That's how it all started. Okay.
Yes. The lawn service scaled pretty quickly and it was doing well. And I was just taking on a couple of extra kids because I was doing all the back end work. We were running 2 crews. My ex-husband at the time was, doing the front end stuff of it because he had a lot of experience in that arena. And it did well until the big 3 took a massive crash. Big 3 car companies. We were up outside of Detroit, Michigan, and half of our clients were gone overnight. So I had already started in network marketing over, 20 years ago. Got my start in a personal care products company, was with that company for 8 years, but I loved it because I'm a person of service. And really it was about serving other people. And that is where I started to find my path. Unfortunately, I ended up leaving that company, which is still here today, and went to another startup. had a blast. It was a unique product line, but it was only sold to women and it was non-consumable. So that company unfortunately folded. I tried starting out my own. That didn't work out. So I was actually on a 1.5 year hiatus. And Mike, I'm going to tell you what, I lost my ass financially. I got divorced again. So now I'm a 2-time loser. And fortunately, I ended up reconnecting with someone that I went to high school with, and we've been, together for 16 years now. So he's been my best friend for 40 years, little hiatus in between there. But he really gave me the courage not the courage. I was given an ultimatum: either go get a job or you have to find something to bring in income, because he was a civil engineer at the time and the feds cut his per diem. So anyways, I actually, for a 1.5 years, was searching for something. And one day I had a conversation with somebody that I've been in the industry with. And in this industry of network marketing, it's very small. And so I called Jim up and I'm like, Jim, man, I'm looking, what's new, what's hot, what's coming out? And he told me, he goes, well, there's this new hair care company coming out and it's called Monate. He goes, my ex-VP is the VP of Monate right now. And, they're looking for people to launch the company. Now, mind you, this was back in July of 2014. And so I jumped in with both feet, sight unseen, never tried the product. All we had was a compensation plan that I could look over. And then I knew of our president because he was in one of my first company that I was with. And he had one hell of a track record. And I'm like, okay, that's a plus. And then Ray, who's the other owner, they had a lot of experience in the Hispanic market. And it was like this God thing that was just like, if you don't do this, you are going to kick your own hiney. So I jumped in I had to wait for 6 weeks, August of 2014, and it freaking scaled like crazy. So that's long story short. So here we are, almost 9 years later. We're a $3 billion team. I have 425,000 market partners in our amazing organization. I call it we are MoFam because it's really about culture. We have almost 4 million customers in 9 countries. And we're going to be launching new countries, new products with our own technology this year. And we just expanded into the Asia Pacific market. I could not be more excited. Like right now I'm talking to you, man, I got God bumps.
God bumps. I love how you say that. So how many people has that business set free financially? Do you have a number on that? Because I think the value of someone is, can you make other people wealthy? I love thinking about that, because people on my team, I'm like, you know what? If I make money, that's great. But if I can help them make money, that's a true test of my character and business. So do you know that stat or figure?
So we have over 100,000 people making at least $200 to $500 a month. And in this day and time, that's game changers for a lot of people.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Okay. So we have over, and I think the last time we did a count, over 3,000 to 4,000 people making 6 figures or more. We've had 90 people that have made $1 million or more from this business in 8 years.
90 millionaires.
Yes, 90 millionaires. But out of that 90, we just had our 6th decamillionaire in less than 9 years.
Holy smokes.
So now I'm not making income claims. These are all facts and figures. You can go, find, I can give that to anybody. You can hit me up on a DM. I can share that information. But you know what, Mike, what I'm passionate about? I'm passionate, even though our business is for men and women, and, we have about 30% of our market partners are men, couples. But my whole passion, because there's such a huge gap of teaching women wealth principles, and I have the platform to do it. And now I'm taking it to the next level. The books, the coaching, the speaking, the self-storage, the real estate investment. I can't wait to share with other women. And again, I can share with men too, but it's really about educating women, because what I have found is that 95% of women, they rely on, their significant other's income, and they don't even know the passwords to their bank accounts. Yeah. So it's crazy. So I want to be the one to show all women, no matter how much money that, maybe your spouse makes, or maybe that you're making right now. I really want to teach people to have the time, because you can't have the time without the finance part of it.
Damn right. You need it.
Yep. I want to teach them the time, and they can have time and they can live their life by design. So that's where my focus has really kind of funneled into this last year. And I've been going around teaching workshops and stuff like that, just because I want to give back. And that's where my passion is. My love language is service. I'm a giver.
I dig it.
And so I can't wait. I just put together a wealth launching, or a wealth platform to coach women. And, I can't wait for all of the amazing success stories we're going to have.
So we're part of the DM Alliance together. And I remember you saying on one of those calls, listen, this is amazing, but why are there not more women here to learn about this? And so Mark Evans, our mentor, was saying, maybe you can solve that problem. Maybe you can be the person that brings all of this education to them. And it was almost like, all right, that's what I got to do. You realize there was such a need for it. And why do you think that is? I mean, you see it from a different perspective from me, but is it just the society? Is it that nobody's talking about it? Is it just, I don't know. I don't understand why. The information's out there. You just don't see a movement that like you do when it comes to men in this space. So what is it?
You know what? It was everything that you said. And still to this day, women are taught to be subservient, right? Put everybody else first but us. And men are not taught that, right? Even from, the point of finding out what your child's sex is, when you're finding out the gender, when you're at that, that fundamental 12-week appointment, and you want to find out if you're having a boy or a girl. Immediately we go into, okay, and you guys, and I'm just saying, because I am in my 50s. Back when I was a kid, it was pink bows, dresses. You were taught not to get dirty, right? All this stuff. I think we've changed a little bit over the course of time, but I still see a lot of young girls that I mentor that don't think they're worthy. It all boils down to self-worth, self-love, self-appreciation. And I am going to be the one to change that for all women, because every single woman, they deserve whatever they want. But what happens is that society still to this day teaches them to settle. Look at all the bullshit going on right now, right? With this transgender crap, and, men playing for women's teams just because. No, women have always been put on the back burner. It's not happening. It's not happening on my watch. I am raising strong, young, resilient, smart women. I've got 4 daughters, and you know what? We're not stopping, right? It's going to just take that one person, maybe just that one person, to change the entire world. And I definitely think that someone that I've added value to is going to be that one person to do it. And it just might be my 15-year-old daughter, because she's amazing.
I can attest to this, guys. I know 2 of her daughters.
Yeah.
One is the most hilarious, sarcastic one that I think I've ever met. And the other one, it's Catherine. She is very smart for her age, right? Incredibly smart when it comes to entrepreneur skills and all that. So tell me, how do you do that? Because I think, like you're saying, to teach people independence, you really need to teach them financial independence and to understand the money game and the business game and all that. So is that first and foremost in your household?
Yes. Next to, well, I live by 5 pillars, Mike. So it's what I call family, friends and family.
Yeah. The 5 F's, right?
Yeah. Faith, fitness, finances, and freedom. So the one thing when I am working with people, finances is a non-negotiable. Financial literacy doesn't exist anymore. We're taught to be a slave. Still
look at those 2 books back there. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the one book that set me free financially. And then obviously you see her book right there. So pick it up if you can. It talks about the five F's she just brought up.
Right, exactly. And so the other thing is really, and it takes courage, right? I didn't get here overnight. It took me to step out and really speak about what I believed in. And I still get, I still get all the haters in the world. God bless you. Bring it on. Because I'll eventually turn them into believers. And I've seen that, especially being really outspoken over the last 4 years. So, I have a really interesting story. Don't know if we'll have time to go into it today. How I really got the courage from just doing things in my own home to being very vocal about our rights. And that all goes back to we're not, back when I was in high school, you were required to take business math. They don't have that anymore.
Oh, for a
right?
reason. 100% for a reason.
Exactly. So it's just basically living within your means, right? You don't spend more than you have, and yet we're teaching our children, oh, you need to get, financial aid. You need to have credit cards. You need to have a credit score. No, dude, just pay cash. It solves all your problems. You just pay it with your own money instead of taking credit out. So, it's just stuff like this, basic stuff that people don't realize because this stuff has been shoved down our throats for 30 years, 30, 40 years, probably even before that. But that's my whole goal. My whole goal is to make people financially literate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you bring up a good point about learning your rights. And there's a reason why people in power don't want you to have extra money, because if you don't have extra money, you're totally focused on, that hourly wage. You don't have time to focus on politics and your rights being stripped away from you. The moment that I had some money and some time, that's when I got smart of what was really happening. So once you're able to educate individuals on how to get your money right, that creates time freedom. Time freedom allows you to understand the chessboard that's in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary what's happening. You bring up a lot of stuff on the calls regarding the rights. You talk to individuals who are experts in their craft when it comes to knowing what's happening behind closed doors in the political arena. It's scary, though. You're fighting back. And I love how you have the courage to put yourself out there and tell people what you truly believe. Me personally, I admire individuals like you. They have the courage to say what other people want to say. They're just afraid to say. So I look at the totality, money and quality of life and the ability to have courage to stand up for their true beliefs. You have all three. So did it take time to obtain that courage, or did you realize that was your calling?
So I've always been outspoken. I remember in 9th grade, I wrote a paper on nonconformity, right? So don't conform to the societal and social pressure. And I saw it a lot. I moved around a lot when I was a kid, and I was always the new kid. So I think, really having that platform helped me realize as time went on. Now, but Mike, also too, it's the relationships. It's meeting people like you. And, I'm watching what people like you and Russo and Barb Allen and everybody, they're, all talking about this stuff. They're talking about our rights. And that's really where it led me to this part of my education now that I'm learning about. So I can share with more people, because I do have a trusted platform, but I'm going to be the one that's going to be leading the change, because I'm not afraid. I just, there was one day I woke up, and usually, you say how you remember that. And I don't know what it was. And I had posted something on social media and I just got baked. And it was about them doing like the lockdowns and shit like this. I said, mark my words. I said, I will guarantee you that this is all going to come out as a farce and it's all going to be fake. Yep. And I lost a lot of friends that day and just got, but you know what now, because I saw the writing on the wall, because I have been fighting this battle on my own for the last 20 years, because I have a vaccine injured child. So I already knew all of this. So, and that was, kind of like quietly, I'm running in small groups. I'm showing up to these, protests and stuff like that. I pulled my kids out of school. I had the religious exemption forms. Y'all, I like I said, this has been a path that I've been down for a long time. So now that I'm seeing stuff come out about, more and more about our government and these 3-letter agencies that are total bullshit, and about our constitutional rights. Y'all, how many of you carry around a pocket constitution and you read it and you learn from it? There's a lot of information in there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I am all about, helping entrepreneurs be more successful, but also protecting the legacy that they're building.
That's good. Right. Yeah. People forget about it's the people behind you. Right. That's why it's your duty. You've become financially free. You've figured it out. Right. You're okay. You could go off into the sunset, be okay. But your moral obligation is to help those behind you. Right. You are given this freedom to create the life that you want. Now it's time for you to protect it for someone else.
Well, and for everybody, because if we don't protect it, where are our kids going to be left, or this younger generation? I mean, right now they're going to have to clean up what we're doing. Right. We've already seen, a lot of shifts happening, but they're going to be dealt with a lot of things that they're going to have to handle. Once, I look at it this way is that, by the time my kids are in their 30s and 40s and 50s, that they have all of this knowledge that I didn't have. And they're going to go out, because of the beliefs that we've instilled in them. I mean, they will change the world. And if I have not instilled those into the younger generation, I love talking to kids and I love talking to young, our young 20-year-olds, something folks, because they don't hear a lot of perspectives like what I have. And so it's like a light bulb moment. So, especially, Naomi's, she's 23, her friends, they love hanging out because I love listening to them and we have actual conversations. And this is how I built, when they were in school, Catherine's still in school right now. I can talk to these kids from a completely different perspective. I talk to them about entrepreneurism. I talk to them about freedom. I talk to them about rights. And I really give them something to think about. And I'm like, okay, here's where you need to go look. I'm not full of shit. But, even now, even if I can talk to people and just, let them think on their own, we've become such a robotic society. It's like, open up your eyes, folks, and your minds. And let's really start questioning everything that's happening. So I know that was a long-winded answer. Did I even answer your question?
Yeah, you did. Well, you talk about, financial literacy, and I want to get into this because you are a big believer in diversifying also. There's slow money, there's fast money, but once you start making money, you just don't hoard it. You have to start playing the game at a different level. So you're into self-storage. What got you into creating multiple revenue streams? Was it, let's get the first company producing, and then once there's enough money coming in, now let me start to create the software. Let me start to put my money into this real estate so I have appreciation. But, what were you thinking and why did you take those pathways?
Well, one, I wanted to protect my capital gains. As I learn more about, where you can put your money into, infinite banking, which is, what all the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and everything created that particular shelter to build legacy wealth.
Yep.
So I'm funneling all my capital gains into that because it's protected. And not only that, I get a way higher rate of return than gambling with my money and, fake paper. So,
which is only going down, right? The more they print money, guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's happening. They're printing money daily, millions and billions of dollars. Every day that happens, your dollar goes down. So you need to become smart like this and put it into something that appreciates and boosts your value.
Yep, exactly. And you have to look at the trends. And that's why I'm learning from the best. I mean, I can't tell you how much, Mark's group has done for me, for my education. Yes. And just opening my eyes to new realms of possibilities. And I want to be around with people that have that expertise that I don't have, because I want to learn. Or I want to be able just to say, okay, someone comes to me and say, okay, Toni, how do I do this? And I've gone on my social media, I've posted, I've gone live about it. People will message me and say, hey, who are you working with? And I'm like, hey, this is my expert. Talk to this person, talk to that person. But in reality, if you don't diversify right now and protect what you have, you're not going to have a whole hell of a lot.
No.
So,
2020 showed that to me.
Yes. And so, Mike, another thing that I did too, is I had the same bank and banker and investment guy for 15 years. And I took all of that, I put it into a private institution, which there are far and few between holy cow, because I'm not going to let these people basically, one, steal my money and use my money whenever they want and compromise, what I do even keep in the bank. So there's just smarter ways. There's smarter ways of doing it. And I learned, learn that from Mark. You've got to, have your money in different private banks and, put your capital gains in, these other folders. And it's been a huge win-win situation.
Your ability to build a tribe is obviously tied to your connection with people, how much you care. We started working, I believe, like you said, was it 2018, the first book? Yeah. 2018. What has happened since then? Since you put out the first book, what was the result? Did you become more clear? Did you have people understanding who you were at a higher level? Was it easier to build relationships? Were people reading the book and then coming to your events? What did you notice since you put out a book?
So it's credibility, man, all the way. It's like a glorified business card. So every time I'm somewhere, I always have books with me. And instead of handing a business card, I give them my book. And then I connect with them on social media. So it's a great way. And also too, they look at me and they're like, oh man, you've written a book. I've always wanted to write a book. It's like my buddy, Corey. Right. So I'm like, I got the book.
Corey Wallace. What a good guy. Yeah, of course.
What an awesome guy. Yeah. So I always am you would not believe the different conversations that we have. Pam Greenberg, another thing, I handed her a book. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to write a book. So that's been really great, but man, you would not believe the credibility that you get. And I'm like, hey, shoot me a message on social media. Let me know what you think about the book. And I'll tell you what, it is such a game changer for that platform. I know for a fact it's led me to more speaking gigs. As a matter of fact, I almost fell over when I got a message like a week ago or something like that. And Toni Whatley, who I admire greatly.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I know about this. Keep going about this. This is amazing.
And so that's like my first, second, third bigger one outside of what I do, outside of my industry. And that's what my goal was to be, because I want to be able to provide service for other people. And that's one very quick way to build credibility and to build relationships, because I'm all about relationship capital.
Oh, well, guys, just to kind of fill you in, Toni Whatley has a group called the 365 Driven Society. He's putting on a major event, I believe July. Is it July? Yeah, July 4th.
Yes.
In Portugal, major event, and you are going to be one of the speakers. So congratulations. I saw that pop up. I'm like, oh my God, that's a biggie. So congrats.
Yeah. But that's where I want to go. I mean, Mike, that's where I love being on stage. I've spoken, my biggest crowd was 25,000 people. And it just is so electrifying, because your message, and even on the podcast and, and your social media platform and everything like that, but it's really your ability to see those faces in that crowd. And when you have those light bulb moments that go off and you're present in that room, just by something that you might have said or not said, that just fills my heart and my soul with joy.
Yeah, you're able to inspire people. You bring up a very good point there. When other individuals see you win, maybe put out a book, it gives them a little bit of hope and inspiration for them to do it themselves. And you said Cody is moving forward with a book. I don't know if you've seen some of the covers. Yeah, they look amazing. But Pam's moving forward with her book. So it's almost like your duty to keep progressing, because other people are watching, and it might be the spark that ignites them into a different gear, right? And that's what's happening in your life. You see people move forward based off of your progression also. Nothing beats that, right?
Nope. No. And you know what, Mike, I am a firm believer that every single person has a book inside them. We've all gone through trials and tribulations. We've all gone through, successes, failures, some of us massive on both ends of the spectrum, but everybody's got a story to tell. And you never know whose life you're going to change with the power of your words. So you guys, if you're watching this right now and, all of my circle is going to get this, you got a book, he's your guy. And he's amazing, just phenomenal to work with. And every single person that I've referred to you, Mike, they have said the same thing.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's a testament to your ability to attract like-minded people. Dr. Joe Dispenza has that amazing quote: your personality creates your personal reality. you have this magnetic personality. You put it out there. You don't hide anything, which usually attracts the exact same type of person into your life. And therefore your tribe is not, there's no effort, right? It's so easy to do business with them, hang with them, talk, shop with them. And so the people who are coming to you and listening to you, it's almost like a replication of who you are. And that makes life so much more fun. So when I work with them and they are good friends with you, I'm like, man, if they're a part of Tony's tribe, that I know exactly who I'm working with. This is great. This is exciting. And there's no masks on both sides. That's important. So people out there who are looking to build a tribe, what would you say is pretty much like the number one? Your software does this, right? So if you want to kind of touch on what your software does, just effing simple CRM. There's some cool things behind the scenes. How much do you want to talk about it? Because you can go into it probably for hours, but give a quick little overview of this if you can.
Yeah. So really it was a combination of me and Anthony and Kelly that have really brought this to life. I had the idea. So I'm the creator, and Anthony and Kelly are the ones that really helped me bring this platform, because in network marketing, it's a dinosaur industry, right? That you're going to, at least minimum of at least 4 or 5 different platforms to just build your funnel. So what I did is we took 24 platforms and we rolled it all into one.
It's amazing.
Right? So we've got WhatsApp, TikTok coming out this month. We have it in several different languages. We have it basically replaces course platforms, text messaging platforms, website platforms, landing page platforms. We have a gamification. We have a nurture campaign already built for a lot of industries out there, network marketing specifically, because I built it for our team, because I was spending $2,500 a month to keep everything that I was, I had all over these different platforms, and we rolled it in and it's $99, right? There are add-on services like building your website and doing different landing pages and stuff like that, but it's a no-brainer. So we rolled all of that into one to make entrepreneurs more money and save time. Damn so right. It's been phenomenal. It's very robust. I'm super proud of, what we've been able to do, but I could not have done it without their help.
And what's the website to look into this?
So it's, if they want more information, I'm going to have them put in cam.effingsimple.com. cam.effingsimple.com. See, yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yes. What you just said there is you're trying to make it so somebody can get plugged in and start playing overnight, pretty much. And they they can do it. If they have any kind of knowledge, they can do it in 10 minutes. For people that haven't been on a platform this robust, it takes a little bit more time to figure out, but we have tutorials. We have everything step by step by step, and we have 24-hour live support.
Wow. It's awesome. Yeah. So go check that out. Is it just for people in network marketing, or is it just play perfectly in alignment with those individuals?
Anybody that is using a funnel system or a text messaging campaign, we're like a third of the cost of any other platform out there. So, my whole thing was really showing entrepreneurs, what, you've got to take a little bit of time to learn it. But at the end of the day, personally for me, I'm up 32%. That's huge. One of my top users, she's up 152%. I'll take that to the bank, man.
Yeah. People lie, numbers don't. Once you see that, you're like, all right, we got something. That's amazing.
Yep.
So what's that? Go ahead.
No, and I was just going to say it was, so we beta tested it for 4 months, worked out all the bugs. We did a hard rollout in August, and it's amazing. So
man, that is phenomenal. I know that you're working on a book that's going to be in alignment with the software itself to educate people on why they need the automations and why they need the triggers and the workflows and the systems. Like you said, there's 24 programs rolled into one. The last thing an entrepreneur needs to do is to sit down and learn 24 programs and then duct tape it together with zip ties and have it somewhat communicate. This is all in one for a reason, right? One login, you have access to everything. Done. Simplicity, effing simple. that's the name of the game, right?
No, 100%. So when I think, and again, the whole mind thought process behind the very first book that we did, which I probably should have grabbed off the shelf here. Hold on one second.
Yeah, look at all the books back here. There's effing simply leadership in the frame.
Right.
There we go. And effing, there it is. This is the first one.
Yeah, right back there. Whoop. Yeah. So this one right here, which this is the first book that we wrote, was really about simplifying network marketing, because everybody tries to make it so confusing. And what does a confusing mind say? It says no.
No, it
so
says no.
That's why I wrote this, is because there's 4 simple steps to being successful in this industry. I can teach anyone to make as much money as they want. It doesn't matter, right? But if you're not willing to do these 4 steps, and it's the same 4 steps for entrepreneurs, right? It's like, you've got to be growing your contact list. You have to be pouring into others. You have to be building that relationship capital. You have to be doing what I call the income producing activities of whatever you do. That's the bottom line. And then you just take those and you lather, rinse, repeat.
Damn right.
And so, therefore it's just like a business basics. But I had written it originally for network marketing, but it's just for any person that has, even if you have a brick and mortar, if you have an e-commerce business, people that are even on third-party selling sites, Etsy, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. There are non-negotiable business strategies in there.
Yeah. That one, when we worked together, that's when I first was able to see the characteristic that you have that not many other people have. And that's the ability to get shit done. You have the ability to aim and just fire, right? There's no trigger shyness. Where do you think that comes from? Because I know I have it. I'm a ready, fire, aim person, right? I think you are too. Let's just get shit done. But that's what creates momentum. And if you can adopt that characteristic in entrepreneurship, even if you make mistakes, you're going to learn and you're going to have a new perspective, and then you're going to keep growing from that point. So where do you think that comes from? Can it be taught? Is that the hardest thing to adopt as an entrepreneur? The shoot first and then ask questions later?
Yeah, no, the universe loves messy momentum. Because if you think,
great point there, guys. Listen to the universe loves messy momentum. I love it.
Yep. So everything else you can go along as you learn to tweak. And this is one of the biggest objections I get in network marketing, is that, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. They think that they have to be perfect. I'm worried about what other people say. Well, I'm like, first of all, their opinions don't pay your bills. Second of all, what other options do you have? Because there's not a lot of options out there, Mike, especially for people, because they're not taught entrepreneurism. Mm-hmm. Right. So this is a great strategy to not only get personal and professional development, but also to learn how to be an entrepreneur. It's the biggest challenge that I have. 90% of the people that come into this business model, I have to teach them non-negotiable entrepreneurism. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're, like slinging a bottle of shampoo or, a bottle of face cleanser, or you're looking at, I just got done with my self-defense class, and I have a point here. Okay. Yeah. I love the guy that trains us. He is magnanimous. He's got a great personality, but he's got an employee mindset. And so I'm like, look, you come here, I'm still going to pay you, but I'm going to give you, non-negotiable business advice. We were talking today, and he was originally a trainer at my gym that I work out at. And, it's a busy gym. And he's like, I'm going to go someplace. I'm going to train privately. And we were having that conversation today. And he's like, man, he goes, my boss is calling me while we were training. And I said, well, if you need to take it, go take it. I want you to be focused, and I want your full attention. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. He goes, it's just so hard being an entrepreneur. And I said, Jack, I said, you have the wrong mindset. And I have been harping on him for 6 months. He's got a fantastic personality. He's former military. He has the best outlook on life. And I'm like, look, I said, I can show you how to build your own brand, your own business. You franchise it, you scale it, you teach courses and teach other people how to do it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, really? You could do that? And I said, yeah. I go, dude, I said, look, I've done it all. I've been an employee, I've been an employer, and I've been an entrepreneur. And I'm telling you, the third gig, it's tough, but it's the most rewarding thing that you will ever do. Because he was talking about moving back to Philly. And I'm like, why would you ever leave this for Philly? And he goes, well, It's because my family's there and I miss them. And I said, like, you know what? Let's build your empire. You have someone run it. You can go do what you want to do. But it's just getting through that mindset. He just couldn't believe what was possible. And I said, it's my personal mission. I'm going to help this kid because I like him a lot. He's really cool. So I'm going to take him under my wing and I'm going to say, you do this, you do this, you do this. And by the way, my mom used to own a very successful Gold's Gym in Michigan. So I know the industry. So I'm just like, that's what I do. And that's what, when people come into my business model of network marketing, I show them exactly what to do. I have a duplicatable, boom, 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 you do this, but most people aren't willing to get their asses off the couch to do it.
Damn right. It's like the allegory of the cave by Plato. If you guys are not familiar with that, it's the prisoner who escapes, goes out of the cave, sees that everything that he was taught his whole life was a lie, and feels like it's his moral obligation to go back down into the cave and to wake up other prisoners. We are in some really cool rooms, right, Tony? I mean, we go to the self-storage syndicate room. We're in the room with Mark Evans. We're talking to all these badasses. You're in the highest level network marketing rooms. You hear all of these incredible people talk about their story, their advice. So you see what's really going on in the rooms of the wealthy. And it's wrong not to take some of that information and then try to just wake other people up around you. Hey, do you realize that you could do this? Like, everything that I thought was really hard when I first started, to me is like, oh yeah, all you got to do is this, 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 and this. Oh, you want to create a business? Oh, if you had no money, I would just create a junk business. And here's how I would do that in 3 simple steps, right? Like, you see all of these ingredients really fast, and you might take it for granted now, but other people would just love to be able to make $500 extra per month, right? For a car payment. If you could show them how to do that, now it's almost like, if you could do it and you're not doing it, you don't feel like you're living up to your potential. And the moment you start to dive into it more and more, I don't know, you might have a little bit more fuel to wake up every day and to put yourself into uncomfortable situations, because what you learn can be shared. Is that right?
100%. 100%. And I think I love the gratitude work of serving other people more than anything else. I would have never been able to do that, if we hadn't scaled our businesses like we did. I just was in Tampa teaching a vision mastery workshop for 100 people. That was on my, it was on my dime to get there to do it, but I'm happy to do it. If people are willing to come and learn, that's the kind of service I want to provide. I want to provide people the ability and just the fundamental steps of what to do next to do their own thing, to do the thing. There is one reason that I know that each individual that God has put here on this earth, they have a craft that they were gift given. And oftentimes people don't even remember what it was until you start peeling the layers of those onions back. And again, it's another light bulb moment for them to see what their value really is. And the one thing, Mike, and the reason why I talk so much about gratitude and vision and mindset is because the only thing that's holding us back from this next level is right here. Every day, it could be a struggle or it can be a reward, because if you have stinking thinking thoughts coming in, you got to change the dialogue going on right here, or you're never going to get to the next place that you want to be.
100%. Last thing I want to talk about here, and we could talk about it for hours, but briefly, the future. What do you see as the future of America, or even just the world? I showed you that clip of AI replicating my voice dead on. It's dead on with no effort on my part. I see the future. It's great and it's super scary. What are you seeing?
I feel the same way. I've been duck diving, doing some research. We did put AI into the CRM platform, which makes sense for us to do. But when you're talking about taking away our human characteristics, that's the part that really scares me. And that, someone could replicate my voice and then you have no control over what is being said. Or, if they're going to be able to make a mental image of yourself and represent who you are, that's the part that terrifies me. Okay. On the other hand, having where people maybe aren't eloquent in writing and, pitching or, selling something or sharing something, that I can understand. But it's the whole fact that, your entire voice, from inflection to, how many times you maybe say and, or you pause to think, and it sounds just like you, that's terrifying to me.
It's not even just the computer side, right? It's not the world, right? People mutilation of kids is like a good thing to some of these schools, and what's happening in politics. The future is scary simply because all of these boundaries we thought were there. We thought, like, everybody, oh yeah, it's wrong to do this. There's a lot of people saying, oh no, this is great. Not just good, it's great that it's happening. So you have to almost fight. If you have the ability to fight back, you feel like you need to now more than ever. Or is there times where you're like, let me just take care of my family. Let me get them set up so they're completely independent and they are blocked from this nonsense and they don't believe or buy into it. What's your viewpoint? How do you adjust whenever you see all this insanity?
Well, first of all, my youngest child is 15. It's about education, right? At that point. And I mean, my kids, so she's not in the public education system. We yanked her a long time ago just because of her maturity level. And then my two, so my middle son, who's just slightly 6 years older than Catherine, and Naomi's 8 years older than Catherine, they went through a new platform that they launched here in South Carolina, which was it's kind of like an academic sports high school. And so they only had to be there like 2 or 3 days a week. And it was very progressive at the time that they were in high school. So they didn't see a lot of that. They didn't get that messaging. And so my whole thing is that I want my children around other like-minded people. And so that's what we're doing. First and foremost, I do not trust the public education system farther than you can throw them. Nope. The books and stuff that they've had at our local high school, horseshit. And some of the books in the primary schools too. I was just like, I'm like, how can you rightfully, as parents, put your kids in schools knowing that they have accessibility to this? That makes no sense to me. What parents are still doing is they're counting on the schools to parent their children, and that's not their job, right? The school's job is not to tell you, how you monitor your child's health either. So, and you're seeing a lot of progressive things coming up. We're in a homeschool co-op. It's the coolest thing. Oh. All the kids are on the same page. The teachers are on the same page. And, they're teaching fundamentals. They're teaching freedom fundamentals. And that right now, just some of the stuff that I see that, it makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. But it's up to us to put our foot down and say, hell to the no. And that's why it's so important that we understand our rights, that we understand as parents, there should be no government involvement into our personal lives. And they have just way overstepped their boundaries.
Yeah. So in 2020, my faith got way stronger. And it sounds to me like your faith got way stronger, but it was almost like, let's make an adjustment here. Make sure our faith is stronger than ever, but let's have the nucleus even stronger when it comes to our finances and our family and our fitness. And what was the fifth F? I'm sorry. Freedom. That's right. Yep. Focus more on freedom than anything else.
And Mike, I want to just say one thing is that our entire original governmental body was, how you say one nation under God. There are so many times it's referenced in the Constitution. I love reading it. But the one thing is, you better get really comfortable and know, because they're trying to come after every little thing. And if you don't know your rights, there is a big gray area there, and you're going to end up doing something foolish.
Great point. They want you to be ignorant when it comes to your rights, simply because they can push you around. And if you don't have your money in order, if you are reliant on a corporation or one income stream or the government, they can push you around even more. So just make sure you have some type of fortitude to fight back. You have some type of ground to stand on, and getting your money right, getting the mindset right, and getting your faith right will do that for you. So Toni, amazing. I always want to keep this short. I know you're a busy person. So if you guys are interested in getting in contact with Toni, check out her books. There's multiple books on Amazon. You can go to our website, which was cam.effingsimple.com, correct?
Correct. Or they can also hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Toni Vans, VANS official. There's a couple of fake accounts out there. So just make sure that they go to that one and they can hit me up on a DM.
Yeah, as personable as you can get. This person knows how to deal with people. So it's been an honor to work with you thus far. It's going to be an honor to work with you going forward. Toni, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so thrilled that you can now tell everybody, on the podcast. There's people downloading this podcast that I have no clue where they're even getting it. And hopefully, if you guys are listening to this, Toni is a person that you want in your circle. So thanks so much for being here.
Oh, Mike, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Guys, remember, $1 million book will lead to $1 million life. Right on.